Hey guys, welcome to Soul Sisters. We're back for what? Number 3, right?
Number 3.
Okay, so much to talk about, and we just kind of figured today we're going to wing it and definitely circle back to the last 2 videos that we put out. And we had a few questions, so we're going to go over some of those things. Plus many, much more stuff. And so if you do have questions for us, you can either put it right underneath this post on the YouTube post. You can get onto Soul Sisters at Soul Sistas on Facebook. You can message us there. You can message me on Heaven Talks. You can email me at heaventalks@aol.com. Like, I don't care. You can reach out to us any way that you want. But those are all good ways. And we have stuff written down to answer for you today. So we had a few people write in, and the one that really popped, one of these really popped out. So we're going to go with her first. So Michelle, if you're listening, we're answering your question. Hi, Michelle. So she wanted to know, because we were talking about, like healing and owning your, what was that?
I'm sorry. I thought we had it on there.
Oh, okay. Healing and owning your bad, owning your junk. That kind. Oh yeah. Let's read it exactly. She said, "I get that we are all dealing with internal issues, but how is acknowledging that going to keep me from yelling at my kids for not cleaning their room?" And we definitely have an answer for that. So I'm going to let Lisa go ahead and talk about this and see what she has to say.
So if you were in front of me, the first thing that I would ask you is that, or let me jump back. I guess the first thing I would say is, let's, for shits and giggles, consider that your kids and you teach each other. Like, our children are here to teach us, and sometimes we forget that. We think that we are
the masters.
We're in charge.
Yep.
Right? We're in charge, and we're the one, I'm going to teach you. You don't teach me. But if we take, just for instance, if we allow and open our minds up to see that our kids will show us the parts of us that need to be healed, the parts of us from high school, the parts of us from grade school, the parts of us from now, it's going to show us all our fears. And that's their job, is to show us the parts of us that need to be healed. So how do we acknowledge ourselves when our kids are leaving their room a mess? The first thing I would ask is, why does it bother you so much that their room's a mess? Well, it would bother me if my kids' rooms were a mess. Now, mind you, I have 5 children, so I am speaking from experience. I'm not just going to tell you something that is like, oh, you should do this, and I didn't do it myself. So the first thing that I would say is, so if your kid is not cleaning their room, usually people would interpret that as a sign of disrespect.
Yes.
That you disrespect me, you don't obey me, you don't do what I say. So it is about you. It's about you feeling disrespected. And when they do that, they make you feel disrespected. So why would a mom with a kid's messy room feel disrespected by them not cleaning? An example could be, well, my neighbor's kids, they clean their house all the time. Their bedrooms are immaculate. So that means something's wrong with my kid. That means something's wrong with me, and I did something wrong. Or I'm working 2 jobs, and I kind of can't keep my house that clean because I'm working. So that's a reflection of me. My husband gets mad because the kids' rooms aren't clean, and that's a reflection on me. So the anxiety I get from seeing my kids' room a mess, where is that coming from? What's that behind it? And that's all I would say for you to do, is to just look there. I don't know if that will be the answer, but I know that it always is about us. And even though you don't believe it, it is. It's the truth. So what would you like? Did you ever have any issues about your kids not cleaning their room?
My kids never cleaned their rooms. I have 3, and they're old now. They're 29, 28, and 24, I think they are now. They never clean their rooms. You know, my big thing was whatever, it's your room. It's the only thing you've got. It's the only space you have. It is the only privacy you have. So I finally just kind of chalked it up to that and thought this is the only place that they have that they're alone. So I let them do their things. Now, if there was food in those rooms or, you know, packages of food left open, okay, I drew the line. I did not like, of course, wet things on the floor. But other than that, you know, when my kids were fairly young, I drew a conclusion with my life. And this was before I ever hit my spirituality or trying to figure things out. I said to myself, if it's not going to matter to me when I'm lying in my coffin, why in the hell does it matter to me right now? Why am I going to fight with these kids that I adore so much over something that in the long run doesn't even matter? So I get that you want the room clean. I get it. But yes, I do think that all of that can be a reflection on you as a mother, as a housewife, as a, you know, I hate to say housewife, as a mother, as a wife, you feel as though you're incompetent.
Absolutely. It
Yes.
brings up, it does triggers your
It really does.
feelings of inadequacy,
Yes.
incompetence, lack of organization,
Right.
whatever those triggers are for you.
Yes, and you know, and yay for the woman next door whose kids have their room clean.
She beats them.
She beats them. Are they horrified of her? I mean, like, let's get realistic. Were your
Right.
kids running up there cleaning their rooms and you told them to clean their rooms?
No.
No, right. Unless
No,
they wanted to have
I would,
a friend over.
I would
And you said,
literally,
"When you clean your room," right.
tell Grace, my Grace, hey, you're not going out till you go clean your room.
That's the only way we get
And
done, right?
I would look outside, and she'd be on her scooter driving down the street. She left, and I didn't want to be, you know, that mom that ran out after her kids, freaking out and scaring because I didn't want to. I cared a lot about what my neighbors thought of me.
Yes.
I
But
did.
I can tell you one thing about her. I think one thing that we both have in common is how much we don't care about things that, and I'm not saying your child's room doesn't matter. I'm not saying that. But how much you and I both don't care about those sorts of things.
Right.
And that is something I love about you, you know, because I felt like I finally met somebody that's a real person, you know, and then I met Becky, and she's the same way as we are, you know, so it just, I mean, we can go to each other's houses and there can be stacks of dishes in the sink, and do we like that there's stacks of dishes in the sink? No. Are we embarrassed by it in front of these guys?
Absolutely.
We're not.
Not really.
Because it's not why we're friends with them. You know, and your kids didn't come here to clean their room. Did they come here to learn respect? Maybe that's part of their journey. But, you know, you have to realize, and this is something I think all parents have a really hard time with, just like Lisa said, you know, they don't belong to us.
That was hard.
Yeah.
When I realized that, what? He's mine. You know, they're mine.
No.
But they're not.
They're not ours.
They're not ours.
And they're on their own journey.
And we're on a journey as a unit.
Yes.
And we all chose to come to this planet to be a family, not for there to be one leader. We all came, it's a give and take. It looks a little different because we are technically the ones in charge. But the give and take is, if you take the opportunity to see what your child is telling you about you, not telling you, but revealing.
Triggering.
But yeah, triggering or revealing about you, then it is why they came here. We all picked each other because we're the perfect person to show us what parts of us that need to be healed. So yes, if you're freaking out at your kid about the room or anything, I promise you, if you look further, I promise you, it's right there for you to see. And I also know that a lot of people that are going to be listening to this are the type of people that are seeking maybe some spiritual growth, wanting to you know, evolve a little bit, to step it up in your life, to maybe change some old patterns. And I feel sometimes that the media, Facebook, social media, has kind of guilted a lot of people into thinking the only road to that is a yoga mat, meditation, or some type of kundalini. And I'm telling you, the way to change your life is by going inside and stopping your own patterns of beliefs, stopping your reactions. That is where the spiritual growth happens. Those moments are when the miracles happen in your lives. And if you're the type of person who can't meditate, I promise you, you're doing the same thing. But what we're telling you to do is to pause, to sit, to stay in those moments for a second and look at yourself.
And always, when something bothers you, instead of exploding, I want you to go into the bathroom, close the door, and say to yourself, why does this bother me? Why? And I want you to look at yourself in the mirror and ask yourself that question. Why does this bother me?
The universe
Why?
will tell you.
Yes. You know, if it's the kids cleaning the room, why does this bother me? Because does anybody else listen to you?
Right.
Does everybody just dismiss you? You know, like, why? So ask yourself why. That, you know, that is something that is just one of the most powerful tools that you can have in your tool belt, is to just say, why does this eat me up?
Yeah. And you'll probably notice that it's a pattern. You'll ask yourself, you know, why is this in my movie? It's in your movie for a reason. And I'll tell you this again. I promise you, the miracles are right there. The miracles that you want, the way you change, because we can't change the other people that are in our lives.
No.
But what we can do is we can change ourselves. And when we change ourselves, that's how we change our universe. And if you can't meditate and you don't want to do yoga, but you do feel the urge to grow spiritually, I promise you, if you look at you, you will get the things that you seek.
Yes, and God or whatever I believe, I'm very, very faith-based myself. But God places the souls around you that need to be around you so you learn what you came here to do. But do not forget that God also placed you around those souls. Mm-hmm. So you're both here holding each other's hands and teaching each other. You know, I can't tell you how many times I meet children that are maybe 10 years old, soul-wise, soul age, are extremely older than their parents. And it's amazing, you know, but the parents don't usually like hearing that. Right. You know, and yes, we all, I mean, I just read a woman the other day and I said to her, I said, you know, your son is here because you never knew true love from a male. I said, I know that you didn't plan on having that third child, but you had him, and he is the love of your life. He has shown you that a male is capable of loving. And she just started to cry. Aww. Right, because her father was not good to her. Her husband was not good to her. She never had a good male person, but she has this little boy, you know, who she just adores. So we're all put in each other's worlds for a reason. You know, this is school.
Yeah. And I don't know if you've ever prayed to God or whomever you pray to and asked for patience or asked for forgiveness. Do you think that God is going to come down and just give you patience? He's going to give you opportunities where you can be patient.
Right, where you can build it and learn
They're
it.
going to place you in situations where you can be that thing that you asked for. So if you're asking for patience or asking for something like that, I'll just use that as an example. God's going to place you in situations where you can be the thing that you want. So our children, our spouses, our coworkers are there to show us what we need to be healed. And if you're triggered, irritated, I mean the slightest little irritation, that is because our body is built that way. Our body is designed to trigger us and let us know, hey, we got something going on in here. If you're irritated, it's about you. I know. You're like, what? Are you kidding? How is she that is so ignorant at my work and stealing my stuff? How is it about me? It is. I promise you. Even if you don't believe it, it's true. And if you take the moment to sit with it and not look at them and look at you, I promise you, all the things that you're wanting in your life, you will create in those moments. That's where miracles happen. That's where the trajectory of your life changes, in the moments when you stop and you reflect and you hold. You just don't react, even though you want to cut them. I know. We want to cut people.
Mm-hmm.
We do.
Oh, yeah.
We wanna
I mean,
cut
and the
'em.
thing is that it doesn't matter. I don't care what anybody says. It does not matter how healed you are. It does not matter. I mean, people look at me all the time and think, oh my gosh, you know what you're talking. Like, I have many issues in my own world. Like, it never ends, right?
Right. Well,
this will never end.
Right. We just have, while we're learning and becoming the people that we want to be, we are just able to be vulnerable
Right.
and let you know that we're not perfect.
No.
That's it. We're learning just like you.
We are. I mean, I still, get in the car and think, oh my God, is so-and-so talking about me? Oh my God, da, 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 da,
All the time.
Right. And then I hear this voice in my head, really? Are we going here again?
I always go there.
Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Like you have, as much as I hate to say it, cleaned house with people. And, you put around the people, you put around yourself the people that are good to you. And I know that another woman had emailed us and said that, how do I put up with someone? What was that email? What did that email say? Now I'm trying to think. Oh my Lord,
right
no, I
there.
feel like I need to look it up because it's in my email. So keep talking.
Okay. Oh, yeah. So one of the other women, and I apologize, I don't know your name, but we'll try and have her pull it up, said you wanted to talk more about owning your awful.
Nisi.
Nisi? Was that the
Nisi.
one?
Right here. On Nisi.
Oh, owning your awful.
Yep.
So I use that phrase because that phrase is from the book of, oh my God, what? The second time I couldn't even remember of it.
I don't know. What book is that from?
That is Jesus
Our
Christmas.
50-year-old brains.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's from Tina Clark in her book. She talks about owning your awful. And one of the things is the parts of us that we kind of sometimes don't like, the parts of us that the parts of us that get irritated, or maybe the parts of us that are willing, I'll know for me, there's a part of me that I like to stay away from that chick. There's a part of me that will get down and dirty really quick and maybe reactive and maybe get a little bit reactive, maybe be willing to fight you in the middle of the street. And for a long time, I worked really hard to keep that girl at bay. I didn't want to see her. I didn't want her popping up because she would act like a psycho.
Well, she's your survival chick.
Right, but I don't need her anymore.
Right,
I
exactly.
felt like I didn't need her.
Right.
I felt like I didn't need access to her because she's embarrassing. And I don't know about you, if you've ever had a night where you're out drinking and then the next day you get the, because you remember what you said or you did. When I think of that part of me that was willing to scrap in the street, that was willing to just curse you out and sound like, the worst Kensington person ever, that part of me's there. And I had a hard time accepting her. But what I've come to realize is I need access to her. And I kept her at arm's length. I wouldn't even look at her. I wouldn't even, like if she crept up, I would feel defeated. I would feel like I did so much work. Why is she coming up again? Like I told her I don't want her here. Like, why isn't she listening? She wouldn't listen. She just would creep up. And
Right.
I would feel like I didn't work. I would feel like the unattended little girl the girl, who always gets her feelings hurt at everything, the girl who's always bothered by everything, the girl who's always got a problem with everybody. I feel like that was the part of me that I don't like. I don't like that I always got my feelings hurt.
The insecure.
Oh, so insecure. And I don't like her around me. So what I'm working on is owning that part of me, because what if someday I need that girl who's going to scrap with you? That who's going to be able to pull that part of me, who's going to be able to kick you to the curb if you mess with my grandkids, if you mess with my husband, you mess with my kids. I need to be able to access her.
Right. She's got to be a file folder for you.
She's got to be a part of me that
Yes.
I have access to, that I don't deny.
Yes.
Because I denied that she was a part of me. And she was the part of me that was super, super, super sensitive. And I didn't like her. But that super sensitive part of me is what makes me me. So balancing that is what you mean by owning your awful. That is kind of what I feel that it is.
Yes.
What
Oh,
do you-
yeah. I mean, like, there's a million examples of this. There really, I mean, there really, really are. It's just that we're all put into situations that just make us act like crazy people at times.
Right.
And, and the thing is that, without getting like crazy personal, but it's hard to not get so personal because
Well,
we're talking about ourselves.
We're
So,
talking about ourselves and
like,
being vulnerable.
And
yeah.
how this affected us, and it just, I mean, I was a friggin' blamer, man. I blamed everybody for
same.
everything that was wrong in my life. And and my God, my poor mother. Like, did my mother not take the brunt of my shit? I mean, my God, she did. And, and when you finally are like, okay, why am I'm the one that needs to fix me. Blaming other people, although they may have had some type of role in that hurt process, does not help you in any way. And it does not
Right.
heal that relationship with that person, because that person, I know in the case of my mother, did the damn best she could do in the situation that she was given. And, I didn't realize that. I didn't realize that until I finally grabbed myself by my own shoulders and said, stop. Like, stop it. Everything is not everybody else's fault, Alicia. Everything is your fault. And you need to figure out how you can heal this and you can fix it, because you've told your mother 100 times what she did wrong, and she can't fix what she did wrong. She's apologized about it. She can't do anything else. So are you really going to hate her?
Right.
She's your mother.
Yeah.
She's your mother. So then, I am completely convinced I came to this planet to learn forgiveness. My soul, I swear I did. And because I've had to forgive every single person who was supposed to unconditionally love me. And the thing is that then I got to the point where I forgave everybody for everything. I took it to the other degree, to where I was forgiving people who should have never, ever had my forgiveness. And they were treating me like crap. And they were negative. And they were mean. And they were nasty. And I had a lot of those people around me.
Right.
You know that.
Yeah.
A lot of those people were around me. And then I finally stood up one day and I'm like, okay, no more. I'm done. I can't do this. I'm damaging myself to make everyone else feel better, so I think I'm a better person and they're treating me like crap.
It's so weird why we do that. So weird how we do that.
And I'm like, well, this makes no sense to me.
no sense.
So, so I'm like, all right, stop. If they weren't bringing into my life anything, an ounce of good, I was done. I was done. And I started moving through the forgiveness process, and oh my God, I'm so much better.
Right.
Don't get me wrong. You still have issues. You're always going to. But, you move through it. Because if you don't, you guys know, I talk to dead people, right? So, I talk to them all day long, every day. And if there's one thing that they have told me, my whole life, is that what you don't learn here in this lifetime, you will repeat with those souls in a separate lifetime. So are you really game for that? So I always tell people, like, if you can't get it together enough so you don't have to suffer again.
Right.
Do it for yourself. Be selfish. Like, and I know that's the wrong way to look at this, but sometimes it's the only way you can.
Only way.
You know,
Yeah,
so right.
I get it.
Yes, and souls come through all the time asking for forgiveness and asking, I should have done this better, I should have done that better. But what I notice with my readings is that a lot of people have a very hard time realizing that their fathers weren't perfect. That they were actually human beings. But it's fine for you to be a human being, but it's not okay for everyone else to be a human being.
Right.
So we need to kind of do a reality check. You really do.
Yeah.
We're all down here. And you guys, this past year has been a shit show. So
Yeah, and we're all and we're all in this
together.
We're all doing this globally.
Yes.
So it's kind of weird. So just so you know, it might not be exactly what we're going through, but we're all going through something, and we're all shifting, and we're all shifting together. And
I don't know about all of
right.
this.
Hey, speaking of that, I had said where I was talking Own the Awful, where I got that. The book is called The Shift Stir Method. You can get that. It's on our page. You can go and get that on Amazon. But I also wanted to circle back with another great indicator that it's you. Brace yourself for this one. If you feel like you're a victim,
Right.
It's you.
It's you.
It's you. I know. I promise you.
Realized it.
If you feel like you're the victim, you gotta look inside of you, because you're putting the belief system intact.
Right.
Like, it's your belief system that believes that they're wronging you. So take a look there. I know it's confusing, and I know it's scary. And I know you're going to say, how is him being a jerk me? It is.
But you have to realize, if you feel like you're a victim, we have two separate entities going on in each of us. We have our human entity, right? Our body, which includes our brain. And then we have our soul. So like what she just said, if you feel as though you're a victim, and this just popped in my head that I
And
had
you
to
very
say
well
this,
might have been a victim.
and you might have been.
Yeah.
But if you feel like you're a victim, let's get down to the nitty-gritty of it here. Did you ever think that maybe your soul feels like it's a victim of your humanity? Your soul feels like you have made it a victim. Yeah, where did that come from?
Because of
Like,
our
I just-
because
right.
of our belief
Because
system.
of our
Because
belief system.
we put the
And yes.
beliefs. Yeah.
Yes, and
Yes.
which is a huge problem. And I mean, dude, we're all, most of us are raised, there's Catholic guilt. There's, right, like, we all feel guilty. We all feel bad. We all do. And I have another email here. This kind of rolls into this email, and she said, okay, one problem I can see what you mean about not getting angry, and if you do, maybe it's your fault. One problem: how do you not get angry at a person who continues to lie to you? And the answer to this came right to me. How do you not get angry at a person who continues to lie to you and is sneaky? How is this your fault? Thank you so much. And this is from Angela. So my immediate answer to this was, why is that person around you? Why are they near you? Why are you allowing them into your space? And if this is somebody who is in your family, and I mean in your family, immediate family, as like a husband or a child, I understand why this would be something that would bother you so much. I get that. If it is anyone else to you, then why are they around? If they continue to give this behavior, if they continue to do this, you are allowing it.
Right.
So it is your fault. So, and that's another thing, and not to keep going into this, but, and Angela, I really don't know what your situation is. And if there's more to it, please let us know, because we'll go further into detail with it. But I always say to people, like, mothers or parents who enable their children, you then can get in trouble for enabling them from living the best life that they could have lived. Now, this is what they tell me after they pass. Like, you cannot put up with a behavior. If you put up with a behavior, you make it so that person can't learn. You are not saying to them, this is not right. This is incorrect. I will not allow you to treat me that way. And saying that I will not allow you to treat me that way, it gives them a chance to look at themselves in the mirror. And if you don't give that person a chance, and that person is allowed to just act like a destructive force on this planet their whole lives, what a disservice you have done to them.
Right. And then I think of it like this. So what if it's not actually about being angry? That being angry is the indicator for you to look at you. I know. It's annoying. It's him. I know. I know he's still doing that act. But what if that's the indicator? What if it's not about you actually being angry and trying to stop being angry, but it's about how you react when you're angry? What is it that you do? Do you offload? I offload.
Right.
And I'm saying, sit with being angry. Sit with being angry and figure out, well, he's lying to me. Why does that bother me so much? Well, because it's whatever. You know, why would it be someone lying to you be so detrimental to you?
Like, but I said, like, if I would totally, it would be detrimental to me. I'm telling you, if it was my child and they were an addict or they were going down a path like that.
Addict is a whole another.
That's a whole other like,
thing.
so that would be very upsetting for me. That would be very upsetting because you as a parent want to defend your child and you want to help them and you want to get, right.
But it's based on fear.
It's all fear.
It's fear.
The whole fear and the guilt thing.
Right. So, and that was my point.
Right.
Is if that was happening and your kid was lying to you, spouse was lying to you, what's happening is you're afraid.
Right. That you're not in control either.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's where you need to go. Okay. And it's hard to go there. I'm not saying this is easy. What I'm asking you to do is like walking into a burning building. It is bravery. It's
the hardest thing you'll ever do.
Straight up horrible, horrendous, realizing what your fears are, because it's always fear.
It's never not.
It's never not, right. And it is literally about your reaction to it. So all I'm asking you to do is just pause and sit before you react. That's all I'm asking you to do. But then if you're a person who doesn't react anyway, I'm asking you to do the same thing. I'm asking you to not react, but then I'm asking you to not pick up the phone and call your girlfriends to talk about and get everyone to join you.
Yeah.
And believe you and support you. I'm asking you to not
don't be that
call
person.
your mother. I'm asking you to not bitch at your kids. I'm asking you, I don't know what it is that
because
you do.
Because it makes it bigger. It mushrooms
right.
it. And
I'm asking you to not go smoke your cigarette. I'm asking you to not open that bottle of wine. I'm asking you to not go sleep with somebody.
Right.
I'm asking you to stay still
and look at it.
And not be mean to your spouse. I'm asking you to sit with it, to stay with it, to sit right in it and feel the pain of being lied to. That's all I'm asking you to do. Is don't call your friend and say, you know what she did?
Yeah, because that's just, we all know. We're
yeah.
women. We're women,
you know
and
what
women
she
are
did?
bad. Yeah.
And that's what you do. I don't know what it is your pattern of normal behavior when you're triggered is, but that is literally how you change the relationships that you're in. Not everybody has to leave your relationships, because if you change you change the world. You change you heal you heal your whole entire world. You heal your family. You heal your kids. You heal your grandmom. You heal the people that have died. You heal us all. We all heal when you have the courage to heal you.
Yes.
And to look at you and stop and pause and not react.
Right.
And not pick up that phone, not pick up that ciggy, not pick up that bottle of wine.
Because I can tell you, years ago, somebody stopped being friends with me or somebody stopped talking to me, and I was like, she's a bitch. I don't, like, oh my God, I can't believe what they did to me. I can't believe what they said about me.
Yeah, don't gossip. Try not to gossip
right.
if that's your thing.
Right.
Don't gossip.
And now people stop talking to me, and I stand back and I look at them and I'm like, wow, wow, they talk about everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
Right, that is the easiest thing to do, is to be involved in the drama and pick other people apart. Can I tell you something? It doesn't make you feel good. It doesn't. And it definitely doesn't help you grow. And the person that's doing that, the drama-filled person, you have to feel bad for them because they're not looking at themselves in the mirror and they're not growing. They never, ever, ever have realized that they played a negative role in this relationship crumbling also. So like it's just, it's amazing when you own it. When you own it. Like every time something goes wrong, I say to myself, what did I do? Like this is like my thing now. I don't want to say a mantra, but this is my thing. When something goes wrong, what did I do? What can I do to fix this? What did I do to cause this? And if I sit there and I'm like, like there's days I can't even think of what I did to cause things. You know what I mean? And I still don't blame it on the other people. I'm like, okay, our time was over, or we must move on through this. And guys, you didn't come here to work. You didn't come here to complain about people. You didn't come here to be angry. You came here as a soul on a mission. That is what you came here to do. You didn't come here. I'm sorry, but you just didn't come here for anything but to learn.
Yeah.
That is the only thing you came here to do. And nobody figures, I'm telling you, I think like the age of 35 is like a magical age.
Yeah. And I promise.
Kind of start to figure.
Right. Like I promise you, because this is a universal thing, this is literally universal. And I'm going to repeat it and I'm going to say it every show. You heal you, you heal the planet. You ever want to be that one person that makes a difference in this world? This is how we do it. This is how do I be the person that helps the change on this planet? By not reacting to someone on Facebook when they say something stupid or say something that you don't like.
You just move on.
Just don't react. And then don't go talk to the next person, and then don't go talking crap behind them. That's all I'm asking you to do.
Right.
I'm asking you to sit with it. Because if you can sit with it, the vibration that goes out from you changes.
It does.
And then people that are my age and Alicia's age, you remember that commercial? And she has the shampoo commercial and so on and so on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't even know what it is.
What
but
was
that
that?
was right.
What was that?
But that's what I think of
Yeah.
every time. Because when you change you, you're gonna change her. You're gonna change the next person. You're gonna change your kids. I promise.
You will.
I
You
promise.
will.
And that's where miracles happen. That's how we change the planet. That's how we change our home life. That's how we change our relationships with our spouses, our children, our coworkers. It's one little moment at a time. And take something little. Don't try and take something big. Take it little bits at a time. And I promise you, you heal you, you heal us all.
Yes, definitely. And and the energy, the vibration that you give off, it changes. And when you become, I don't know, when you actually love yourself, when you actually love yourself and like the person that you are, even though you're still working, because we're always going to be working on ourselves. That's never going to end. You send out that love vibe. And people just, I don't know, it changes everything. It changes everything.
Everything.
It really does.
And just because you might not see it at first,
Right.
I promise you, just hold on, because you can never, ever go wrong by healing you. Never. It's never the wrong choice.
Never.
So it will never be the wrong choice.
Never.
Ever.
Never.
To choose love. Choose to love you. And that's always the right place. That can never, ever be wrong. Ever.
Yes. And always, I don't know, admit when you're wrong. Admit when you're wrong to the people
not
that
to your
you
kids.
Oh no, but I do.
I'm kidding. I'm
I
kidding.
do.
I'm kidding.
I mean, but I get what you mean.
I'm kidding.
But
I'm
I mean,
kidding.
yeah, but
I'm kidding.
you got to put your tail between your legs sometimes and say, I'm sorry that I hurt your feelings. I acknowledge that I hurt your feelings, even if you think what they're upset about is absolutely like flipping ridiculous. The fact is that you still hurt their feelings.
Right.
So you need to acknowledge the energy that you delivered to that other human being. And if it hurt them, you need to apologize for it. It's that easy. And there's never a but in an apology. Always remember that there's never ever a but. And I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Our kids are grown. They're just the most amazing people.
Mm-hmm.
They become our
Mm-hmm.
best friends.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're wrong,
Adult kids are the best.
oh my God, yeah, totally the best. So just,
Mm-hmm.
you know, get through these teenage years of them not cleaning their rooms. You know, mine didn't either. And they're great kids.
And I'm
you know.
not saying it's not acceptable to have,
Right. No, we're
have
not
your
saying
children.
that.
If you want a clean room, I'm not telling you you got to do that.
Right.
Like we're not saying just let your kids. No.
No, we're not
if,
saying
if
that.
if it's a you know a drop dead point for you, okay, I respect
We're gonna back
that.
you on that. Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly.
Yeah, because that's a deal breaker for people.
Right. I mean, we all have our things,
Yeah,
you know.
and we're not saying, we're not advocating, let your kids go.
Right.
We're not saying that. We're just saying it's an opportunity, if it bothers you, to look at you. That's all. You don't have to change anything. You're just changing you.
Just own it.
Yeah.
I mean, and really, I think that is just bottom line. Just own it. It can't hurt.
Own you're awful.
Yeah, it can't hurt. You know, it's never going to steer you in the wrong way. And I'm trying to think, what else do we want to even talk about right
No.
here? There's so much to talk
But
about.
if you have questions, we'd love to answer them. And in a few weeks, we're probably going to do some lives.
Yes.
And then we can answer and have conversations back and forth. So we look forward to the next few weeks. Thank you so much for the wonderful support you've been giving us. Your feedback has been wonderful. Thank you. And we are excited about our endeavor.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So stay safe out there, you guys. I know it's kind of crazy. It's been just a crazy year, right? So stay safe. And
This is happening for you, not
Yeah.
to you. Okay?
yes. And we're all here right now during this exact time to evolve. And we have never been pushed so hard. And I would love for every single person on this planet to evolve, but I just don't know if that's going to happen.
Right,
I would
and
love
that's
that.
okay.
And that's okay. But you are going to be dealing with a lot of craziness because a lot of people aren't owning their stuff.
And that's okay.
And that's okay.
Because you got to worry about you.
You came here to do you.
To do you.
You came here to
Right?
do you.
And that's the greatest loving act you can actually do for your children, your spouse, your parents.
Right,
is
but we
loving
were
you.
taught that that was selfish.
Right. Yeah. Let's be love.
Yes. Be love.
Be love.
Radiate love. Give
To you.
love.
Not
Yes.
about, like, bunnies.
No, not
and-
like that.
That's not what we're talking about.
No.
Oh, love. No.
Yes.
No. I can't stand that.
Right, I know.
Yeah.
But like, don't compete. You know, just I don't know. Just
gonna
love
be good.
everybody. Life is good. This is a good ride. It is. Think about it that way. Be more positive. Forgive you. Hey, that's one thing I really wanted to say today. Forgive yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You can't forgive other people until you forgive yourself. So, you know, get straight with yourself. Forgive yourself. Love yourself. Care for yourself. Hug yourself.
And I believe in us, in humanity. I know what's being said on TV, but I believe in us. I think we're a lot better and a lot more loving to one another, and we're going to be loving to one another.
Yes.
No matter what.
Yes.
I think that humanity is wonderful,
Yes.
and we're just going through some rough times, and it's going to be okay. And we're gonna take care of this, and we're gonna love.
Because guys, they're trying to divide us.
Yeah.
They are. And
we
we
want to
all
love.
love each other.
Yeah, we want to love.
We all love each other.
And we're going to try, and I think our job is to learning how to love in the midst of being angry, guilt-ridden, shamed, all those things. We're going to try and teach a technique on how to be loving in chaos. Right?
Yep.
It's a skill. It's acquired skill. And
Yes.
that's what we're going to try and uncover, of where you can be loving when you're at a workplace and you hate it. How can you be loving to yourself? How can you get the most out of those experiences? Because if you don't, you're going to experience it again.
Oh, it
And
just
again,
keeps on getting thrown
and
at you.
again,
Yes.
and again. It comes up and shows different ways, but
It's the same exact life lesson repeated.
over and over,
Over
and
and
over.
over. And guess what? When you figure that one out, here comes another one. So,
Yeah, and that's a good thing. That's your homework for today.
right.
Where are your patterns? Start looking at your patterns.
Yeah, look at your patterns.
What keeps on coming back? You keep on getting guys that are
that are treating you like crap and walking all over you?
Yeah,
Okay,
what is
so
that?
then I want you to look at your life and I want you to say, wow, my boss kind of treats me that way. And so do my friends. Why does everybody treat me like a doormat? Oh, right? Where most of us would just go, oh, I have an issue with men. See, and that's the thing, you know, like remember when we used to write outlines in school, you know, and there was like, oh God, that's been so long. I can't remember what things were talked about. But, you know, there were like, you know, your main things, and then there were little, you know, branches off to the side. So you not are having issues with men. It's just a little branch off to the side of the main issue. So you kind of have to figure out your main issue. And when you figure out your main issue, everything you'll realize branches off of that issue. And you will be shocked when you realize that. I mean, shocked.
And hopefully you follow us and you give us a shot at maybe possibly giving you some skills to live within chaos, to live and to thrive right where you are, exactly where God planted you, in the midst of whatever's happening. I think that we'd like to maybe guide you a little bit and give you some ideas to be creative, to be loving, to be kind. And I'm not telling you this because I am so not a bunnies, butterflies. Oh my God. I'm not that. I'm so far from it. I think I'm the opposite.
Yeah, exactly.
But either is Alicia. But it is truly about love. It is love. It's all love.
It's all love. That's what makes the world go round.
Yeah. And we're gonna try and teach each other to love each other, even though we want to cut you.
Right? That's the good stuff. That's the good stuff.
That's where the meat is, and because we're all gonna have times where we want to do things to people and hurt them and say things and just be mean to them and to do things behind their backs, and we just do, and we want to stop learning how to stop doing that to everyone.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes. Oh, definitely.
Yeah, we want to stop learning how to do that. We want to unlearn that.
Yes.
And let's just pull it back a little bit. And
I think there's a lot we need to unlearn. You
Yeah,
know,
it is an unlearning.
Yeah, it's an unlearning. It is. And it's just what we've been taught. You know, there's a difference between being polite and being real. And, you know, you need to be real to fix yourself. So we're going to guide you through that. God knows.
It's going to take us a while.
Well, yeah. I mean, God, we met how long ago? You know, and I mean, I was 35. So what is that? 15 years ago. So we've been working on this. I mean, that's probably when I really started digging into it. Yeah. And, you know, I'm 15 years into it. You're probably a little bit further into it.
Since 10. Yeah. I was 10. I'm about 40 some years in.
Wow. Yeah. I've had stuff, since childhood, but since I really started.
No, but I've really started
like
getting on that. Yeah,
yes, around other people was like around 35. But yes, as a child, yes, you know, it's just something you came here to learn, and it's something we're going to try to help you figure out, so you can get rid of some of this anxiety and some of your fears and some of your guilt, and sit down and enjoy your kids and play a game with them. You know, instead of being pissy that they didn't do this or didn't do that or you didn't get this done, or, you know, it doesn't matter.
So if you're not comfortable writing on underneath the stuff, just send an email and we can address it without addressing your name.
Yes, and if you don't want us to address your name, just say, we're never going to say a last name.
Yeah, we won't, but the way that we can expand and answer your questions is if you send them to us. And we appreciate it, and thank you so much for the support. And you make us feel like $1 million, and we appreciate it.
Yes. All right, you guys. We love you, and see you soon.